Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I crochet this cropped sweater in this beautiful olive color. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial. I tried to cover all the important details, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Just for reference, I typically wear a size small to medium, so that's the size I'll be making today. But I will share all the measurements as we go, so you can easily adjust it to your size. I made this sweater using this wool blend yarn. It is 35% alpaca and 65% wool, so it turned out super warm. You will find more details about the yarn in the description below. For this project, I'm using an 8mm crochet hook, but you might need a different hook size. I will explain why a bit later. You will also need a few stitch markers, a measuring tape, scissors, and a yarn needle. This sweater is made up of 4 separate panels, and I'm going to start with the back panel. So I make a slip knot and chain 45. Then I make one more chain for turning. For this sweater, I work with 2 different stitches, a regular slip stitch and a slip stitch with yarn over. I start from the second chain from the hook, skipping the turning chain, and work a slip stitch with yarn over. For this stitch, I yarn over, insert my hook into the chain, yarn over again, so now I have 3 loops on the hook. Then I pull this last loop through the other 2 loops like this. And that's my first stitch. Now I repeat it. Yarn over, insert the hook into the chain, yarn over again, and pull through 2 loops. I keep working like this until I have 35 stitches. Here I want to explain why you might need a different hook. I crochet this sweater very loosely, which is important to get it stretched like this. So if you crochet tighter, you might need a bigger hook. Otherwise, your sweater could end up too short. For me, it's convenient to use an 8mm hook and just work loosely. Try to follow the measurements I'll show later. They will help you figure out if you need a different hook. After I've made 35 stitches, I have 10 chains left. For these, I just work regular slip stitches. Insert the hook into the chain, yarn over, and pull through 1 loop. So it's the same stitch, just without the yarn over before you insert the hook. I work 10 slip stitches until I finish the row. So in total, I have 45 stitches. For the second row, I make 1 chain and turn my work. So now I'm going to work into the back loop. I skip the turning chain, insert my hook into the back loop, and make a slip stitch. And I'm working 10 slip stitches. After this, I place a stitch marker so I can keep track of where I need to switch the stitch. And then I make another 35 stitches with yarn over. So here the second row is done. Then I make one chain and turn my work. Now I start with the yarn over slip stitches. Don't forget to skip the turning chain. I make 35 of them until I reach the stitch marker. When I get to the stitch marker, I remove it and work just 10 regular slip stitches. After that, I just keep repeating the same pattern until I have 43 rows in total. So I'm done with the back panel. As you can see, this piece is super stretchy. It measures about 36 centimeters, but you can see I can easily stretch it out to 56 centimeters or even more. From top to bottom, it is about 37 centimeters. Now to finish off this piece, I make one chain, leave a long tail of yarn, which I'll use later for joining the panels, cut the yarn and pull it through the loop to secure it. Now let's move on to the front part. I start the front panel the same way I did for the back panel, but here I'll be shaping the neckline. So first I make 11 rows. Now I have 11 rows done and I've started row 12. I'm working it until I have 5 stitches left. So here you can see I have 5 stitches left. I'm going to skip them, make one turning chain and then keep working the same way as before, but now with 40 stitches in total for the next 20 rows. So now I have 31 rows and I've started row 32. I'm going to finish this row first and then I will finish the neckline part. Here I have the 32nd row done and now I'm adding chains to get back to 45 stitches in total. This way the next rows will match the first 11 rows. I add 5 chains, then one turning chain, then I turn my work. I start from the second chain with a yarn over slip stitch and keep working the same way until I have 11 more rows, or 43 rows in total. Here I have the front panel done, and I finish it off the same way as the back panel. I leave a long tail and cut the yarn. As for the sleeves, they are basically the same as the back panel, except I made 50 stitches in total, 40 yarn over slip stitches and 10 regular slip stitches. I made 29 rows, which gave me these measurements: 44 centimeters and 22 centimeters. Now I will show you how I join the sleeve into one piece using slip stitches. First, I make one chain and fold the sleeve in half. Now I'm going to work slip stitches to connect the edges. I insert my hook into the back loop on one side and then into the chain on the other side. Then I grab the yarn and pull it through all the loops. And I just keep doing the same thing with all the other stitches until I reach the end of the row. At the end, I just make one chain and cut the yarn. So now, when all the parts are done, I'm going to start joining them together. When you fold the back and front panels, make sure you have the leftover yarn on both sides. We'll need that later for sewing the sides. And here I'm sewing the shoulder area with a small piece of yarn and a yarn needle, just like this. So now we are going to sew the sweater at the sides and attach the sleeves as well. I'm going to use the yarn tail and start from the bottom, sewing around the sleeve and finish under the armpit. First, I attach the sleeves with stitch markers to make sure they are in the right position. Make sure to stretch the sleeve slightly while you're attaching it. Then I count the stitches so I know how many to count on the other side for the second sleeve. Now I just start sewing from the bottom like this into the chain on one side and the front loop on the other. You can sew into the back loop or into the full stitch, whichever you prefer. And now the sweater is almost done. The last part is the neckline ribbing. I attach the yarn at the side and first I go around with slip stitches, working into each row so it looks tidy. At the end, I make the last slip stitch into the first one to finish the round. Now let's move on to the ribbing. I start with 5 chains plus 1 for turning, and then I work into the chain with slip stitches. So I have 5 slip stitches in total. Next, I work into the slip stitches that I made in the round, also working into the back loop. So I make 1 slip stitch and then 1 more. Now, I don't make any turning chains, I just turn my work. You can see I have 7 slip stitches. I skip the first 2 slip stitches and work the next 5. Then I make 1 chain, turn my work and make 5 slip stitches. When I get to the slip stitches on the neckline, I make 2 slip stitches. Then turn it, skip those 2 and make 5 slip stitches. And I just keep working like this all the way around the neckline. At the end, I join the neckline the same way I did for the sleeve, with slip stitches into the back loop and the chain. And this is what I get. I'm very happy with this sweater. It is honestly one of my favorites now. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you will make one for yourself. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.